Welcome back to the Quarter Right. Tonight, we're going to be doing this interesting token that I found from some local pizzeria arcade called Freddy Fazbear's. This is a 1987 token. I think it's nickel. So we're gonna do this tonight. Here's the back of it. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So it's got a cool thing there, but I think we're going to make the ring out of the front part. So let's see what size punch we want to use. Just heard a weird noise. Okay, so let's see what kind of punch we want to use for this. It's really shiny, and it's just plain nickel, so it'll be shiny when I'm done. So and these were brand new. Like these were still like they hadn't been used at all. It was weird. I don't really remember where they came from. Found them on eBay, but we'll see how they turn out. Nickel sometimes I have problems with because it's kind of soft. From my own experience, nickel tends to tear more than like brass. Brass seems to be a little more elastic, and nickel just seems to want to blow out. So we'll just see what it does. I've got a couple of them, and I brought a couple of them out here with me. The rest are just inside. But just in case I need to just punch another one real quick, I've got them with me. I think we'll go with the 7/16 punch because it's going to give us a little bit of a ring. I think that's my dog. Yeah, just it's dark out, and it's been kind of quiet. It's been rainy, so it's been kind of quiet, and it's just a little bit freaky out here, creepy kind of, because of the quiet. But yeah, that's my dog. Just going to check things out. So I think that will give us enough clearance. Let me see what a half inch looks like. So that would be a half inch. That might be even better. It's going to be kind of a thin band, but we just want the outside part anyway. Because I don't think there's really nothing on this side that would be interesting. I think this will be the most interesting part. So maybe let's try a half inch. And let's just see. Because just like with the Chuck E. Cheese ones, we don't want to get too close to this ring here, or I'll end up with an edge because it'll kind of fold over a little bit. We'll get an edge that's hard to file down, to clean up. So we don't want to get too close to it, but we do want to get close enough that we can kind of have that little bit of an edge, that little bit of a circle showing. So I think the half inch might be the best for this one. We'll go with that. Half inch. If you are new to the channel, what I use to punch holes in coins is the Legacy brand Mega Punch. So the Mega Punch comes with the actual die for punching, and it comes with a couple sizes of punches. The half inch is what we have in there. It has a little base you put in, and then the cutout part of it fits in there, so you can punch the hole through it. And it comes with a bunch of these little plastic pieces that you put the coin in. Surprisingly, the Freddy Fazbear's token fits in the same little plastic piece as the Chuck E. Cheese tokens, so that makes it a little simple because I already had this one out. So I just gonna put a little piece of paper towel in here to kind of settle it in the middle there, and it fits really good. So we're going to put this aside because the first thing we have to do before we punch a hole in this coin is anneal it. And we have to do that with fire. We have to heat this coin up pretty hot. So we're going to do that with the torch, the propane torch. So we'll move over there. I think there's something out there. I can hear moving. We get deer out here sometimes, but they usually don't come up when I'm out here working because they hear me talking or punching holes and stuff.
I just hear something out there.
All right, we are at the side of the garage where I have the torch, which is just over to my right a little bit. And we're just going to heat it up until it's kind of glowing red. I think that'll be good for nickel. Alright, that should be good. You can see it's kind of glowing. And now we're just going to cool it off. What that does is the heat that we've just heated this metal up and aligned some of the structure, and we're cooling it off so that we can quickly arrest that movement of the metallic structure so that it doesn't go back to the hardness that it was before. Cooling down metals like this, these soft metals, does not harden them like steel or iron would. It just makes them soft. They will get hard as we work them. So we'll have to do this a couple of times. We'll have to heat it up, cool it down, work it, heat it up, cool it down. This is cooled off right now, and it's ready to be worked. It's ready to punch a hole in. So the token is in the punch, and we're going to put the top on it here. Take my half inch punch, and this is a dry lube that just helps it cut a little bit better. We're just going to rub it in the lube a little bit to kind of get it around the edge, like that. That'll just make sure we get a cleaner cut. And now we're going to press the hole in it. Okay, I straightened you guys up a little bit. Now we're just going to press the hole in it. That was kind of hard to push through. They are kind of thick, so they're not really worn down. Like I said, they're brand new. So I didn't ask the seller where he got them from, or where he found them, or anything. I just bought it on eBay. So I don't really know why they're brand new like this. So there we go. It is punched through. Now we have to get the coin off the punch because it's stuck on there. There's the middle. So we can get this cleaned off a little bit. You can see there's Freddy's face in the middle. So that was punched out. The way I've been doing this is I put a little die down here to set everything on. Take the top of the punch, put up here, put the coin with the actual punch part through the middle, and I take this little piece of rubber, set it on top. That way this piece won't mess up the coin at all. So let's just push that through. And that was the punch falling through. You get a little tick noise. I think that's close enough to the middle, to that circle. You can still see Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and 1987. And you see on the back, there's not really a whole lot. I mean, you get the stars. So we have to take the deburring tool and clean up the inside edge here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with this edge right here that's kind of bent. And we're going to do that up against this part right here, so it kind of makes it rounded, and then we'll do the straighter side in the middle to clean up the inside, the middle part in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Both sides. Now, if you don't do this, you will end up on one side with a ridge. And that ridge is hard to get rid of, even with a file. So doing this first really saves you some time in the end. So I think that's good. It's nice and rounded over. This also lets you get rid of any cracks. So if there was a crack that had formed when I punched the hole, doing this would kind of get rid of any cracks that started. So I'm just going to take a look at this, make sure everything's good. I keep hearing noises. And it's coming from over here somewhere. I just don't know what it is. You guys hear it? Huh. Okay, I've got to heat the coin up now to get ready to cone it out. So I'm going to heat that up off the camera and then we'll cone it out. Coning out is the process of taking a flat coin and pressing it down through a die and making it a cone shape. We're going to use this cone as well to help us. These dies are cut at an angle on the inside. It's one size on one end and one size on the other end. This one is the one I use for the Chuck E. Cheese rings, so it fits the Freddy's ring as well. This is a 1.1 inch to 1.2 inch 17 degree die. So the angle that is cut at is 17 degrees. So we're going to use the 1.2 inch side. Is it 1.2? No, the 1.1 inch is going to be the smaller side. And we're going to make sure that when we press this down, we want this side to be out. So it's going to be at the bottom. So we're going to put it in like this. Since the cone is going to push it, the middle part of it, straight down. And it's going to make the whatever's on the bottom face out. So I'm just going to make sure it's straight. Take our cone. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on it right now just to hold it there so that I can go around and just make sure everything's still straight. I can kind of see it a little bit. I can see it enough in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be straight enough so that when you press it down, it doesn't tilt off to one side. It may tilt a little bit, but you can clean that up when you're sizing it. You just don't want it to be off real bad. Alright, so we're at the bottom. The nose of the cone is now touching this plate. So what we'll do now is we'll put a smaller die on top of this one and finish the coning out. So the next die is going to be this 0.90 to 1.0. We're going to put the 1.0 side up. And the coin fits in there just perfect. You can see it's right at the top. Make sure that the coin is flat around the edge, and it looks like it is, feels like it is. So now I'll finish cutting this out. Alright, this is as far down as it's going to go, because now the whole coin is touching this cone, and it can't get any smaller, any more of a cone shape. The coin now matches the cone. I can't push it down any further. But we're done with that part. Now what we're going to do is we're going to heat it up again. And like I said, heating it up just makes sure that those molecules and metals inside are in a state where they can move and bend. We're going to heat it up again just so we know that we can work it easier. And we're going to put it on the ring sizer. We're going to start stretching out this cut side to match this side. We've got the ring annealed again, and now it is ready to be stretched. So we're going to stretch this cut side to try to make it the same size as this. Then we can size it down to the actual size that we want. This one, we'll probably just stretch it out so that it's flat and it's in a ring shape. And then if anyone ever decides to buy this, if it
If someone wants it, then we'll size it to the size they want, but otherwise it'll just be a ring shape so that we can take pictures of it and post it on Etsy or wherever. So this is my ring sizer. It's from eBay. It's just a affordable ring sizer. It's nothing special. Basically, I put the ring up here, I pull this down, and these pieces of metal spread, and it makes the ring bigger. So we're going to do that on this side first, and see what it looks like after that. We'll see what size it wants to come out to. Like I said before, with these nickel coins, I have them split at this point a lot of the time. I don't think there's any cuts in them already because they're kind of thick. They're not worn. So it might be okay, but we're just going to go slow, and if it starts to feel hard, I'm just going to anneal it again to make it softer again. And what I'm doing is I am pushing down to spread the sizer, and then I turn the ring a quarter turn. I size it again. I turn the ring a quarter turn. I size it again. And you just keep going around like that because these don't always push out the same amount. So you want to turn it while you're sizing it to make sure that it stays round. Alright, so that's about as wide as it's going to go. There are no cracks. There's nothing in the bottom of this that looks like it's cracked or starting to crack. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what size this is. This is a ring mandrel. It has all the different sizes on it, and you just drop the ring on it, and it tells you what size the ring is. Right now, this one is about a size 10. So you can see that the ring is not flat. This edge is higher. It's kind of at an angle still. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make this more flat on the edge. And to do that, we have to reduce the ring. And this ring sizer is not just a stretcher, it's also a reducer. It has a reducer on the bottom. So I'll show you guys how to reduce it. If you guys like what I'm doing here, like the video, subscribe. I don't put out videos really often, maybe once a week or every couple of weeks. Usually I'm doing the same rings all the time, so when I find something neat, I like to do a video about it and just show off what it would look like as a ring. Sometimes they're silver coins, sometimes they are nickel coins like this one, sometimes it might just be quarters or just interesting things that I find. So subscribe if you like what you see. Like the video for me, I really appreciate that. And if you are interested in buying any of the rings that I make here, check the link to my Etsy store or just contact me with what you'd like. I do commissions as well. This is the reducing side of the sizer. It's the same machine that I was stretching it on. It's just the bottom of it, and it has the same handle. So instead of pushing the handle back to enlarge it, we're going to pull it forward, and that will push this ram head down. So what we do is we take the ring and we put it in the smallest hole that it'll fit in, which is going to be this one. That's the biggest one that's actually on here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tap it a couple of times to straighten it out, and then press down. Alright, let's see if that made any difference. I guess because the band is so thin, we don't really have to move it too much, so it might still be around a size 10 when we're done. I did take the deburring tool and deburr around the inside edge. So it went down to about a size 10 1/4 after I did that. So we're going to just straighten up a little bit more. It looks, if you want to see what it looks like first, you can see it's kind of straight, mostly straight. It's a pretty round ring. But I do want to just give it one more press just to make sure everything's nice. Alright. Let's see what we finally end up with. We are still at a size 10. Which is fine. If we wanted to go down to a size 9, we could. What we would do is we would take the coin and maybe put it in this one instead of that one, and we would press down on it, and that would shrink this side even more, and then we'd flip it over, put it in there again, shrink it down until both sides were even and it measured a 9. If we wanted to make it a size 11, we would take it back up to the ring sizer, the stretcher part, and we would just keep stretching it. So these rings can get down pretty small. I think with this 1/2 inch hole, you wouldn't want to go too small. Just because what happens when you go smaller, especially with this ring sizer, is what it's going to do is it's going to start making the edges rounded instead of flat, which is fine for some rings and it looks okay. But the smaller the ring gets, the more rounded those edges are going to become, which means the middle of it's going to stick out more and more. And they give it, like, it's called a fat tire effect. So it's okay for some rings, but when they get really small, I don't like the look of it that much. And these bigger coins tend to do that. Now, if you were doing a dime or a nickel, an American dime or American nickel, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because the hole you punch in the middle probably wouldn't be this big. And they would start smaller, because the smaller the hole, the smaller the original size. So because we did a 1/2 inch, the original size started out pretty big. So what we're going to do now that we have this finished, so that we can actually finish the coin and make it ready for pictures, is we're going to let it sit in some acetone just to clean off any fingerprints and oils from my fingers from working, clean off anything that from the punches and presses. We're going to let it sit in acetone for a little bit, just a couple of minutes. We're going to get some liver of sulfur ready, and that's going to antique this. Now, it already has a nice dark color, but the liver of sulfur will make it really dark. And then we will clean up the high spots so that you can see the letters and you can see the words on it. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. The coin has been in the acetone for a while now. It's nice and clean. I'm just going to mix up this liver of sulfur. So this stuff right here, liver of sulfur, it's just an antiquing gel. I'm running out. Trying to make sure I got enough here. And you want to put this in really hot water. Alright, that's about it. It's only the one coin anyway, so it'll be alright. I'll order another bottle of that. Then you just mix it up. And you can probably see the steam coming off the water. It's really hot. And take the coin. I had it sitting out just to let the acetone dry. You don't want to touch it with your hands. You want to touch it with something like tweezers or something, because you don't want to get your oils on it. Put it in there. Give it just a second, and it reacts instantly to the liver of sulfur. Here's the final product of the Freddy Fazbear's pizza token. Sorry, my phone cut out. Just for some reason I lost power to it. But I did get it finished. It's cleaned up, and you can see the antiquing on the back, and so you can kind of see the letters through the darkness after I cleaned it up some. This is what the inside looks like. If you can make it out, there's not a whole lot to it, just those stars. A couple other stars. But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more of this, then check out a couple other ones that I have. I've got a video about how I make the Chuck E. Cheese coin rings. It should be right up here in the corner. And there's a couple other ones that you might like. Let me know in the comments if there's another token or ring that you think would look interesting to make. Hope you guys liked it.